give us houses that move through the air, going to give us spaceships, going to give us free power. That won't wipe out the financial system, I'm sorry. It'll make power cheap, which means a whole lot of electrical things will become even cheaper.
Well, maybe we need.
It won't wipe out. It won't wipe out.
Look what the computer did, for God's sake.
Yeah.
It wiped us out.
Yeah, we don't have money anymore because of
if you did
computers.
electricity, it would be just as bad.
That's not what he was saying. He was saying, but things become free, you don't need money. Rutabagas will still cost money. I'm saying I don't get it. There's a disconnect between a philosophy I really like, and is pretty close to my own beliefs, and claims about the material world that seem to me, the way you're talking about them, people did them in the 50s. And while GM may not want to, you know, there was a little outfit called Apple because it started in a basement, or started in a garage because IBM knew there was absolutely no market for little computers. IBM was wrong. If you don't need GM, there'd be the last people to go to ask for a car like that. But what about Brazil, which doesn't have any oil? Doesn't have a GM. You know, countries like that. That's why I just don't get it. I'm not against it. I just want, like Deborah, or Julia.
Well,
I want to see it.
All I can honestly say to you is I hope someday you do get it, because you're in one reality, and these things I'm speaking of are in many, many other realities.
Yeah, but is electricity in my reality?
Huh?
Is electricity in my reality? Tesla said it was.
I think
It's about belief systems.
That isn't how Tesla talked about it.
Julia just introduced electricity.
yeah, no, it's pretty simple. Basically, I'm not really questioning anything. I mean, I liked everything you said. I'm just, you know,
Okay.
all I'm saying is if somebody claims they can walk through a wall, then why can't they show me? I'm just saying that. That's all I'm saying. Take everything else away.
Why am I on national television or global, international television claiming that I operate a spaceship through time and space? And time and space is also an illusion that we once we understand it, we create time and space. Why am I saying that, and why didn't I drive in here with my spaceship?
Well, because that's the technology. That's different. You're walking through the wall. It's just you. You have you right here with you. Your consciousness and your ability. I'm just curious.
Can I
Let's
just
hear what he has to say. I'm really curious about him finishing what he has to say.
Yeah. Well, I want an answer though.
Well, let her speak a minute.
Well, I wanted to just say one thing. Have you ever done something one time and couldn't repeat it again?
Yes.
Because I've actually stuck my hand in a couch and thought, you know, what am I doing? It's my hands in there. But I can't do it again. I can't do that any longer.
I was
going to ask that because I've had 3 different phenomena. Got bit by a fish. I was up in the air and 40 feet away. A couple other things happened serendipitously.
Yes.
I can't go out
And
well, again, that's a belief system. My brain says I can't, so part of me doesn't just do it. You know, he hasn't even brought up his flight. When I met Ralph 26 years ago or more, you know, I didn't just believe this stuff, and I ended up coming up here and met a gentleman who saw a home movie where they had the craft being taken off. But I was going to ask, how come I can't, you know, go beyond my own beliefs and do what I've experienced? You know, there's part of us that we all, you know, have this magic that happens. You know,
Yeah, that's a good point.
There's something about holding ourselves back.
We're programmed to hold ourselves.
Yeah.
We're programmed.
We've been programmed for education.
It's like a computer. It's what you put in, it's what you get out. And we've been programmed to think along certain channels. And we're held in a box. And until we release ourselves from the box and refuse to accept any more of what we're told, we are who we are, what we are, we'll stay in that box forever, going around and around and looking for ourselves.
And that's what we're doing right now.
That's what we're doing right now.
Well, one question and observation. So, the UFO sightings,
Do you feel that they're coming from another planet or dimension, or do you feel that they're part of the U.S.?
UFOs, if I can put it into a perspective, UFOs, unidentified flying objects, are everywhere. They've been everywhere. They've been here before the beginning of time, if I can make that bold statement. There's nothing new about them. They're in this room right now. There's multi-dimensions going on right now in this room. When people raise their consciousness up and change these vibratory rates, they change these cameras from 24.5 cycles to 25, 26, 27. They start seeing things out of the corner of their eyes. And then when they get up like 30 cycles, oh my God, there it is. They see what they couldn't believe ever existed before. Because they're vibrating up high enough to see it. And down low, they'll never see it because they're saying, "Oh yeah, I don't believe in you guys. I don't see you."
Well, and that would be substantiated by things that we're all aware of, like the fact that dogs can hear sound frequencies that we don't have the capacity to hear. Because they can take in higher frequencies. Dogs.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't hear very well. Her dog ate one of my hearing aids.
But it doesn't mean those frequencies don't exist, which is obvious by the fact that when you blow one of those whistles, the dog comes running. You know.
Yeah, just because you can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
And I think that's what we're doing when we're doing these things like flying or whatever. We're doing the magic. We're in this different frequency.
You know, I was wondering if it might not, in answer to your question, has something to do with coherence. You know, there's this thing about, on a conscious level, we say we want something, we want prosperity, or we want a relationship, and we're really ready, and we want to bring that. We do our visualizations and our affirmations, and it's not coming. Why isn't it coming? Because on a subconscious level, we have core beliefs going that we're not aware of on a conscious level that are saying, well, you don't deserve it, or you'll never have it for this reason. And there's no coherence. And that the universe is responding to those subconscious beliefs that we're broadcasting all the time within ourselves, unconsciously.
So that's a training that somebody can train themselves to the point where they can just at any time at will walk through that wall. There are monks that do say
First you have to understand what the wall is.
Yeah.
It really doesn't exist except in your mind.
Right, I understand that. I'm just saying that people can train themselves to be there all the time.
Yeah, you can reprogram yourself, like this word sculpturing that she brought up. Like in our dictionary, you have the word can, and then you have cannot, or do not, or will not. Take those knots and untie them, and just refuse to accept them. Can do, will do, or whatever, and let that be your new reality. Then everything that happens to you, you cannot accept failure. It has to happen. It has to happen because you created it. Once you say, I can't, your sub says, okay, buddy, you got it, you can.
I've been doing yoga classes in a martial arts studio, and they have a circle across through it, and then there's a circle that says can't. No, can't.
I'm sorry, I'll get back to what was I on? You wanted to hear about the flight?
Yes,
Yeah,
Carr. We took you off on another tangent. Sorry.
Well, first of all, it wasn't a flight as such. I mean, I want to explain that I didn't fly conventionally anywhere. I moved from what's called inside of time and space to outside of time and space and back again. And how this happened, when General Motors turned us down and told us that if we put them up, they'd shoot them down. That's what their last thing they said to us was. We went back to Apple Valley and started designing. We had 3 45-foot craft, and one was ready to go. So Carr, I was fortunate enough to be picked as one of the occupants. There was 3 of us, 2 engineers and myself, that were going to take the first flight in this craft. And Carr had already explained to us, now remember, the brain can only go so far. Just shut it down and don't listen to that. Use your mind. Focus on something and use your mind. and let the brain go to sleep, because it has nothing to do with what reality is where you're going. So we got on board the craft, and in the center of the craft there was a large, well, on one of these discs, I'll give you these discs. I've only got about 5 or 6 copies of each. I've got enough?
16.
Oh, 16.
There's more than 16
Well,
here, but.
and if you would be so kind as, for the people that didn't get one, if you could make them copies of it, you're welcome to them. This is the History Channel, the Discovery Channel, and a lot of the talks that we've done on what we're doing here. So Carr said, your brain is going to try to deceive you and try to trick you, tell you can't exist, it won't exist. We went through all that at pre-briefing before the flight, so we knew what he was talking about. So we got on board in the center of the craft, and that's on the disc. There's like a big crystal ball with facets in it, like a diamond, like a multifaceted diamond crystal. And in the bottom, there was a laser, a white laser that came up to the bottom of it, and it illuminated this crystal in brilliant colors from infrared to ultraviolet, and millions of colors in between. It just, I can't even describe it. It's just infinitely beautiful. And he explained to us that what we were going to do was go downrange 10 miles in the craft. We're going to, if you will, take off from this position, go down 10 miles, and come back. He said, but your brain won't believe it. Your brain will not accept this, and you might as well know that in advance. He said, downrange, the engineers had gone down and measured the frequency of the area that we wanted to locate downrange, and measured it in frequencies that equated to the color of aquamarine. In color, in light spectrum, each frequency has a color. And this particular color where we were going to go was aquamarine. So he said, when this crystal starts changing color and focuses on aquamarine, you'll be moving beyond time and space. And just don't worry about it, relax, and I'll see you when you get back, more or less. That's the best way I can put it at this point. So what we did, we got in, there was 3 of us, we sat around, and we just kind of went into like a semi-meditation, just cleared our brain with everything, like, okay, just here we go. And the next thing we knew, we could hear Carr saying, okay, that's it, boys, come on down for debriefing. That's the end of the experiment. And we looked at each other and said, well, we didn't go anywhere. We didn't even move. We're sitting right here. We couldn't have gone anywhere. I mean, I know I'm right here. I can see it. Just as I can see it. Yeah, thanks. So,
does the thing have windows?
Huh?
Does the thing have windows?
No, it didn't have windows. But at higher frequencies, you could, well, no, it didn't have windows.
Didn't Jodie Foster make a movie about this?
Big one?
Yes, she did.
Oh, okay.
That's what happened with her. She was in the craft. She went to this fantastic place, and all people saw was her craft drop 10 feet into the water or something like that.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think we saw that movie, didn't we?
It's sort of the opposite, though. Because she experienced going somewhere. And he didn't experience going anywhere.
Well, what happened, he says, come on down to debriefing. And we got down to debriefing. We had these little jumpsuits on and just 2 pockets in them. And he says, well, how did you like it? And we said, well, we didn't go anywhere, did we? You know, and he says, you don't think so? No. He said, well, empty your pockets. And we didn't have anything in our pockets when we got on board, and we all related to that. But we started pulling out stones and sticks and grass and everything, putting it on his desk. And he said, well, where did all that come from? He says, can you tell me where you got that? Did somebody come on and stick it in your pockets or what? Huh?
Maybe you hadn't checked your pockets.
No, we won't.
No, beforehand, I mean, maybe you hadn't even...
Yeah, and especially for sticks and stones, I wouldn't imagine that we would have carried them on board. But no, we checked. No, there was nothing in our
How did he
pockets.
propose you actually filled your pockets? How did that happen?
well, he said, okay,